Hey, how's it going? My name's John McLennan and I'm here with GuitarControl.com. I hope you're doing fantastic. And I want to do a quick lesson today on a song called It Stormy Monday, originally written by T-Bone Walker but covered by tons of artists. So we're going to be looking at T-Bone Walker's version, so be sure to click the link below so you can get the tab and follow along. I'm going to break the whole song down for you in 3 parts. We're going to look at the intro, and then we're going to look at some classic T-Bone Walker chord shapes that you can play through the entire song, and then we're going to try some lead parts on top of that. So let's zoom in and get started. The intro uses dominant ninth chords, which are a staple in T-Bone Walker's playing. We start with triplets, 1 and then 2 and then 1 and 2 and. So what that is leading into the 5 chord here, D7, we're in the key of G. This is a G blues. And so it starts up on E flat, which would be the 6th fret of the 5th string, then the 5th fret of the 4th string, then my 3rd finger lays across these 3 strings at the 6th fret. My thumb is actually over the top muting this string, as well as my 2nd finger sneaking up and just touching this string, so that my right hand can really dig in on downstrokes here and not have to worry about hitting any open strings that I don't want to hear. So 1 and 2 and I'm kind of pumping the chord. I'm like playing it and then letting off. It's kind of a jazz type of playing, jazz rhythm style. 2 and 4. 4. Alright, so you've got the intro down. Let's move into the rhythm part that you can play through the entire song. And again, if you're having trouble, click on the link below to get the tabs. So we're going to continue that dominant ninth theme through the rhythm part of this. And these are some classic T-Bone Walker chord shapes. So here's the first one. It's a G9. And you'll notice that there's no root in this chord. It's actually starting on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and then I'm going to use my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger here on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then pinky on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So that's the first chord. Now if you want, you can also bar that pinky, which is kind of a cool sound as well. A little harder, you might want to just start with this. Then when we move to the 4 chord, we're going to play a C9. And that's going to be the 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. And that's, again, using that finger to bar across. C9 there. So we're going to go, the first 4 bars is going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Just so you can hear the sound, sometimes I'll put my thumb here, just to get the G9 grip. Okay, then for the next 4 bars, we're going to play 2 bars of that C9 and 2 bars of the back to the G9. So again, they're all 9 chords. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I love just keeping it simple, you know, playing whole notes like that and just letting the lush harmony ring out, you know. And now we're going to go to the same chord as C9. We're just going to move it up 2 frets. So that's going to be 5, 4, 5, 5, 5. That's going to be D9. C9, G9. So those are our 3 chords. So let's try going through an entire blues, and we're going to just play these chords as whole notes. Here we go. So that's one whole chorus using those chords. Now, one thing that you can kind of do to embellish this a little bit is you'll hear T-Bone do this on the recording. You know, he'll approach things by half steps. So instead of just starting right on the 2nd fret, he'll actually play completely dissonant with it, a half step off, and then slide it up, you know. You know, it's a little crazy, but you know, just a little bit. It's kind of like salt or something on your meal. You know, you just want to not do it on every chord, but just, you know, I'll give you an example. So that would be, you know, just kind of here and there how I feel sliding into the rhythm part. There's a lot of variations to this as well. Like you could do something like, and just slide up the top part of that chord, which is nice. You could also do that here. They're just like iconic rhythm parts to a blues that you need to know. So let's try one more time going through that rhythm part, all 3 of those chords. Here we go. You could also go above a half step there. That's, I believe, the very last 2 chords of the song. Just that A flat 9 to G9. So it's a cool effect. You know, one other thing that just came up when I was playing that is you can put the 5th in the bass, which is nice too. So instead of playing C9, you can move this up. Alright, great work. So now we're going to look at the last part. We're going to play some lead parts through the blues. These are some classic T-Bone Walker riffs. Alright, so these licks, they're not made-up exercises or you know, anything like that, any kind of scales. They're actually just real riffs taken from the recording. I transcribed this off his solo, and he plays this really cool rhythmic phrase over the 4 chord, which is, you know, C9. And what he does is he starts with his 2nd finger and he slides into the 9th fret on the 3rd string. Then you put your 1st finger on the 8th fret of the 1st string. And that's like, you know, 2 notes right there in a C chord. You're sliding into the E and then up to the root. And then you go to the flat 7, which would be, you know, the B flat note, way up here on the 11th fret of the 2nd string. Then you do the same phrase, sliding into the 9th again. And you go 10 on the 2nd string, and then 8 on the first string, so, or 8 on the second string, so. And I might use my pinky there. You know, generally, I'll probably play most of my blues what I call 3-finger style, so I actually don't use the pinky that much. So I'll show you what this sounds like over the 4 chord. Here we go. Just kind of jam here over the 1. Now here he goes. So it's a nice little lick there. It's got a little theme to it, you know, it kind of continues the idea. And I like this concept of when you're playing over the blues, it's like what you play, if you play a lick or you play a phrase, the next phrase that you play, it has to be connected to that, you know, and so this really does that for me. It's a simple line, but the phrase gets, you know, connected and extended. It's like the listener can kind of hear, da, 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 da. It's like a theme, right? So I might steal something like that from a solo and then think, how can I apply that over the other chords in the blues? So our 3 chords again were G9, C9, and D9. So if I've got, to me I can see this chord shape right here, C7, which is 8, 10, 8, 9, 11, 8, and see that I'm sliding right into that middle note, and then I go up here to this note, and to me I'm using right there. Look, I could play the chord, and I could get the lead out of it. So if I can figure that out, then I could move this chord shape to wherever I have another dominant 7. So let's say I have it over the 1 chord. Then it's going to sound like this. I'll show you that real quick. I'm sliding into the 4th on the 3rd string. And then I'm using my first finger here on the 3rd fret. Then pinky. Down here I'm going to use my pinky. And then slide into the 4th. 3rd finger here on the 2nd string. And then 1st finger here. And then back up for C7. And now I can also do the same thing over the D chord. But let's get to that in a second. Let me show you first, just playing over those 2 chords, the same lick. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So it's a little, you know, mechanical in that I probably wouldn't play it all of that at once, but I might play, and then kind of create this sequence where all of a sudden now my solo's telling a story, you know. So you want to think like that when you're improvising over the blues, you know. Okay, let's try it now over the D chord, which all I'm going to do is take this and move it up 2 frets. So that's going to be our 3rd and final lick. That's going to go up to 11, 10, and then 13. And then sliding into 11 again, 12, 10. So maybe I might use it, you know, on the turnaround, like. So let's try putting it all together. We'll see how this turns out. I'm going to try and play that over every chord. Here we go. Give it a rest here, and then I'll go up to the 4. Here's the turnaround. So right there I could get through an entire chorus of blues with just one lick, and again it's coming from the language of the music. It's coming from a recording where, again, it's not a made-up exercise. I can turn this into an exercise, yes, that's what we are doing, but the core of what it is a classic phrase. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you would like more in-depth information, click on the annotation on the screen or the iCard if you're on mobile and check out one of my courses. I have one specifically on blues called Blues Power that you could check out, and there's a lot of great courses there as well. Alright, well thanks so much. I'm John McLennan, and we'll see you in the next video lesson.